Breaking news mga kababayan, nako po, Madriaga nagsalita na. Pero piniga ng abogado ni BP Sara, natameme, nanginginig, nako. Nako, delima mga kababayan, na corner ng abogado na si Atty. Panelo at si Michael Puwa. Nako po mga kababayan, may nanginginig na. BP Sara, biglang dumating. Hala ka, totoo kaya ito mga kababayan? Nagharap na ang dalawa, Madriaga at BP Sara. Nako, sabi kasi sa komento mga kababayan biglang dumating si BP Sara, nanlaki ang mata ni Madriaga. Tila takot na takot. Totoo kaya ito? Panoorin po natin ang unang appearance ni Madriaga. Tila nanginginig habang nagbabasa. Nako po, totoo kaya ito? Panoorin po natin. Ito po ang sumambulat na balita ngayong unang araw ng impeachment ni BP Sara dito sa Kangaroo Court ng Kongreso. Ito na po, may nanginginig na.
Mr. Madriaga, hindi na po nasundan yan. So that was the first and last visit that I made to Mr. Madriaga on account of this affidavit. So, Madam Chair, we can probably ask Mr. Madriaga confirmation of what I said. Yung tungkol nga po ng pagpadala niya ng handwritten letter, tsaka subsequently pagdala niya ng affidavit, copy ng affidavit sa akin through his counsel, at yung pagbisita ko sa kanya one time in December 8, 2025.
Is it your intention, Honorable Dilima, to submit the personal letter of Ramil Madriaga to you to this committee to form part of the records of this proceeding as well?
Yes, Madam Chair, only that I can only give to the committee or submit to the committee photocopies of this. Photocopy of the handwritten letter,
Yes.
because this is the original, a 4-page letter.
So long as you confirm that the photocopy is an exact and faithful reproduction of the original.
Yes, yes, Madam
We
Chair.
take note of that
Thank you.
confirmation.
This is exactly the letter I received
So may
from
we
Mr.
confirm
Madriaga.
from Ramil Madriaga, just to conclude the disclosure of Honorable Dilima.
Ito na, mga kababayan ko, ang unang pagsasalita ni Madriaga. Tila nanginginig mga kababayan. Tila hindi confident magsalita. Halaka. Tila scripted. Ito po ang nakikita ng abogado ni BP Sara. Gawa-gawang kwento na walang katotohanan. Yung mukha ni Luistro, mukhang oh. At ni Dilima, mukhang nanginginig. Yan ang sabi ng komento. Mga kababayan, ito po.
Having sent that letter and the original affidavit to Congresswoman De Lima, maaari ho ba namin kumpirmahin sa inyo ang inyong pagkapagpadala ng sulat at original na affidavit kay Honorable De Lima? Mr. Madriaga?
Magandang tanghali po, Madam
Nako
Chair,
po.
sa lahat. Opo, Madam Chair, kino-confirm ko po.
Thank you. Thank you. With that, we direct the committee secretary to receive the copy of the personal letter of Ramil Madriaga to Congresswoman De Lima to form part of the records of the proceeding in this case. We further direct the COMSEC to provide copy of the same to all the members of the Justice Committee, including the ex-officio, including our respondent. We shall now proceed to our clarificatory questions. Do you have other manifestation, Honorable De Lima? Are you done?
Yes, at the moment, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Now we go back to Honorable Ridon.
Ginoong Madriaga, magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga po.
Yung pong affidavit na binabanggit po ninyo, meron po kayong pirma dito, no?
Opo, Madam Chair.
So kayo po mismo yung pumirma dito sa affidavit po na ito.
Opo, Madam Chair.
Walang pumirma para sa inyo.
Opo, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Can we be specific, Congressman Ridon, because it appears that there are two affidavits already. The original consisting of 5 pages and the supplemental affidavit, which was mentioned by the Honorable Abante.
Sige po, maglilinaw ho tayo. So bukod po doon sa affidavit na pinirmahan na binigyan po ng kopya si Congresswoman De Lima, meron pa po ba kayong ibang mga dokumento o affidavit na pinirmahan, Ginoong Madriaga?
Opo, bukod po dun sa November 29 na affidavit, ay meron pa po akong supplemental na ginawa, sinumpaang salaysay na may petsang April 11, 2026.
So ito po yung supplemental affidavit, bagong affidavit po ito.
Opo, Madam Chair.
Meron po ba kayong kopya ng supplemental affidavit po na ito?
Opo, Madam Chair, nasa abogado ko po.
Madam Chair, kasi yung affidavit po ay nakalagay po sa records po ng komite. Ang supplemental affidavit po ay bagong affidavit, karagdagang affidavit ni Ginoong Madriaga. Tingin ko mahalaga po na mabasa sa harap po ng komite na ito yung kabuuan po ng supplemental affidavit para mag-form part ng records at syempre masumpaan din po na ni Ginoong Madriaga ang katotohanan po ng bagay na ito. Madam Chair.
So there is a request for Madriaga to read his supplemental affidavit. Do you have with you the copy?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Yes, if there are no objections from the members, then we give the floor to Madriaga to read his supplemental affidavit.
Madam Chair.
For the guidance of the members, we also direct the COMSEC, if it is possible, to flash in the screen the supplemental affidavit of the resource person as he read the same. Kindly provide as well copies of the supplemental affidavit to all the members. And flash the same in the screen as the resource person read the contents of the supplemental affidavit. You may proceed, Mr. Madriaga. Please read your supplemental affidavit.
Opo, salamat po, Madam Chair. Supplemental affidavit. I, Ramil L. Madriaga of legal age, Filipino and with address at care of Annex 2, BJMP Camp Bagong Diwa, Taguig City, after having been duly sworn in accordance with law, do hereby state, 1. I am currently a detainee at Camp Bagong Diwa, Taguig City, for charges of kidnapping, criminal case number RMNL-22-05157-CR, and R-MNL-22-05158, pending before the Regional Trial Court, Branch 21, RTC Manila. 2. On November 29, 2025, I executed an affidavit which was subscribed and sworn to before Attorney Cynthia Biñas Pentonal on the same day. In my affidavit, I narrated my involvement with then President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, PRRD, his daughter Sara Duterte, Sara, other members of their family, and their close associates. More specifically, I provided a personal account of the various works I did for the aforementioned individuals, including campaign and organizing activities, intelligence gathering and sabotage, and transportation of large sums of money under the direct instructions of either PRD or SARA. 3. With my consent, my affidavit was submitted and referred to the Office of the Ombudsman through a letter dated December 15, 2025. 4. After I executed my affidavit, I learned that Sara denied any affiliation with me and that she has no personal or professional relationship with me. She added that she has never given me any instruction of any kind. 5. I received through my counsel a copy of complaint dated March 4, 2026, filed by Sara, or BP Sara herself, before the Office of the City Prosecutor, Taguig City, for perjury. In her complaint, BP Sara reiterated that she has no personal or professional relationship with me. In fact, prior to the dissemination of the Madriaga affidavit, BP Sara had no recollection of knowing, meeting, or interacting with me. 6. However, her denial of any affiliation with me is absolutely false. She lied under oath in her perjury complaint against me. Hence, I decided to execute a supplemental affidavit providing further details on the narration I made in my previous affidavit with additional accounts of other orders, tasks, or works given to me by either PRD or SARA. or BP Sara. Engagement activities with President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. 7. Prior to the 2016 national elections campaign, I was working for then Congressman Roylo Goles as one of his political officers specializing in intelligence gathering and sabotage operations. Congressman Goles decided to support the candidacy of PRRD. Hence, he introduced me and endorsed my services to PRRD during their meeting at the latter's residence in Taal Street, Bangkal, Davao City, around the 2015 or early 2016. He mentioned to PRRD that I was previously under detention and that I later survived death row. Congressman Goles also added that I am his #1 asset in the National Security Council during his time as National Security Advisor. 9. When PRRD was elected president, Cong Goles' brother, Ferdinand Goles, was appointed as a member of the Board of Directors or the Basis Conversion and Development Authority, BCDA. On the other hand, PRRD directed me to serve as a counterintelligence agent for the National Security Council. 10. However, I was never under the employ of the Office of the President or any government agency. Instead, I was directly employed by PRRD. I received my salary from a certain Canlas, a PNP officer, previously from Davao, at the start of every month in the amount of 100,000 pesos to 150,000 pesos in cash. 11. As part of my duties, PRRD specifically instructed me to monitor, operate, and sabotage former Senator Trillanes. However, PRRD was apprehensive in ordering the assassination of Senator Trillanes because of the latter's support and contact in the armed forces of the Philippines. 12.
Oo mga kababayan, sabi ni Madriaga, yung gusto daw ni PRRD na ipa-assassinate si Trillanes. Nako po, may katotohanan kaya ito? Kung ginusto niya, di dapat matagal na. Ba't niya sasabihin sa'yo, di ba, mga kababayan ko? O, tignan nyo, ulitin natin ha. Nako po, mga kababayan, kung ano-ano sinasabi ni Madriaga.
Given to me by either PRRD or Sara, or BP Sara. Engagement activities with President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. 7. Prior to the 2016 national elections campaign, I was working for then Congressman Roylo Goles as one of his political officers specializing in intelligence gathering and sabotage operations. Congressman Goles decided to support the candidacy of PRRD. Hence, he introduced me and endorsed my services to PRRD during their meeting at the latter's residence in Taal Street, Bangkal, Davao City, around the 2015 or early 2016. He mentioned to PRRD that I was previously under detention and that I later survived death row. Congressman Goles also added that I am his #1 asset in the National Security Council during his time as National Security Advisor. 9. When PRRD was elected president, Cong Goles' brother, Ferdinand Goles, was appointed as a member of the Board of Directors or the Basis Conversion and Development Authority, BCDA. On the other hand, PRRD directed me to serve as a counterintelligence agent for the National Security Council. 10. However, I was never under the employ of the Office of the President or any government agency. Instead, I was directly employed by PRRD. I received my salary from a certain Canlas, a PNP officer, previously from Davao, at the start of every month in the amount of 100,000 pesos to 150,000 pesos in cash. 11. As part of my duties, PRRD specifically instructed me to monitor, operate, and sabotage former Senator Trillanes. However, PRRD was apprehensive in ordering the assassination of Senator Trillanes because of the latter's support and contact in the armed forces of the Philippines. 12.
O, kita nyo mga kababayan ko. O, ito, basahin natin. When PRRD was elected President, Cong Goles' brother, Ferdinand Goles, was appointed as a member of the Board of Directors of the Bases Conversion and Development Authority. On the other hand, PRRD directed me to serve as counterintelligence for the NSC. Ito, tignan nyo mga kababayan. Ayan o. 15. Here I bought 2 model Harley Davidson. Wow! Ang lupit ah.
1,500,000 pesos inclusive of accessories and around 2 million pesos exclusive accessories respectively. Both Harley Davidson motorcycles were placed under the name of my son. I also purchased 2 2021 model Ducati motorcycles from a dealership in Katipunan, Quezon City for around 3,500,000 pesos and around 2,300,000 pesos respectively. In addition, I also bought accessories for these Ducati motorcycles in the total amount of 500,000 pesos. Both the Ducati motorcycles were placed under my name. 17. Lastly, I also purchased 7 Yamaha NMAX motorcycles for the operation of Initiative for Social Justice Innovation and Progress Pilipinas, or ISIP Pilipinas. The remaining money was distributed to my colleagues in ISIP Pilipinas. 18. All purchases of these motorcycles, including the aforementioned accessories, were paid in cash using the money given to me by PRRD. Custom magnetic lifter transaction with Attorney Manscarpio. Sometime in 2017 or 2018, PRRD told me to assist the husband of Sarah, Attorney Manasseh Manscarpio, regarding a problem with the Bureau of Customs. However, no specific details were provided by PRRD. Thereafter, Attorney Mans called me. We later decided to meet in front of a coffee shop in Burgos Circle in Bonifacio Global City, Taguig City. During our conversation, he asked me to assist in facilitating the release of what he called construction equipment, which was plugged and confiscated by the Bureau of Customs. Attorney Mans gave me a contact person, a female lawyer, to coordinate with it regarding the BOC problem. After 2 days, I went to the BOC to meet the female lawyer to discuss the release of construction equipment. This time, I learned that the construction equipment was actually magnetic lifters. The same were confiscated because it contained a large amount of shabu. However, the female lawyer informed me that it was
Ay, isipin nyo mga kababayan yan. After 2 days, I went to the BOC to meet the female lawyer to discuss the release of the construction equipment. This time, I learned that the construction equipment was actually magnetic lifter and the same were confiscated because it contained a large amount of shabu. However, the female lawyer informed me that it was difficult to release the same because it was hot item. Grabe. Totoo kaya ito mga kababayan ang pinagsasasabi ni Madriaga?
difficult to release the same because it was a hot item. 22. I reported this to Attorney Mans and we meet again in the same spot in BGC, Taguig City. This was the last time we met regarding the issue. Later, I learned that the content of the magnetic lifters is at least 500 kilograms of shabu worth 4.3 billion pesos were mysteriously missing. Dummy accounts and bank transactions of PRD. Despite only earning 100,000 pesos or to 150,000 pesos from my services to PRD, millions of pesos went through bank accounts opened for me by close associates of PRD. I admit that during PRD's term as president, I served as a dummy for the transfer of large amount of money. These transfers were made through bank accounts.
Ayan, mga kababayan ko. Ayan, lakas naman ni Madriaga kung ganon. Pero sinabi ni Sarah, nako, di ko kilala yan. Alam na gawa-gawa lang ang kwentong ito. Na tinanim na naman ni Trillanes. Isipin nyo, sinabi daw ni PRRD na ipa-assassinate daw si Trillanes. Totoo kaya ito, mga kababayan? O baka sa susunod na araw, babaliktad dito. Mato-Bato 3. Diba? Kayo na po umusga dito, mga kababayan ko. Ano ang katotohanan? Meron bang katotohanan ang mga sinasabi ni Madriaga o isang gawa-gawang kwento? Kayo na humusga, mga kababayan ko, itong unang araw. Maghapon po ito, mga kababayan. For transparency, for a better democracy, ito si The Wonders Philippines. Katwiran ng manaig, hindi gawa-gawang kwento. Hindi politika ang motibasyon, kundi ang katwiran ng batas at Korte Suprema. Ang susunod natin, mga kababayan, Luistro, nagbanta, may babala, nag-warning sa Korte Suprema. Nako, ano kaya ito? Tinatakot ni Luis Tro ang Korte Suprema. Aba, mas magaling pa ito. Tila si Luis Tro na ang the Supremer. Ang kinakatakutan. Aba, ang galing nito ha. Yan ang part 2 natin. Okay po, salamat po.